afternoon. So we are out in the Tampa, Florida area today, and a friend has a Gemini catamaran, a 32-footer, and he has a solar panel over here, and his solar controller died. So while we're in town, we're going to help him install the new solar charger. What the solar charger does is when the sun is shining on the solar panel, it is always producing juice, and the batteries cannot always take juice. And there's other factors as well. The batteries, when they're low, can take juice faster. When the batteries are full, if you don't want to blow them up, or near full if you don't want to blow them up, you need to slow down the amount of charge that's coming. So what this incredibly cool thing is, years ago there used to be these huge boxes and all kinds of stuff, and when the dinosaurs roamed the earth. Now it's just this fun little solid state deal, and what it does is it senses how much juice is coming from the panel, how much juice the battery is accepting, and then it regulates the amount of juice that's going to the battery until the battery is full. And then this particular one, to be honest, I haven't read about, but what almost all chargers do is once the battery is full, they just stop sending juice to the battery at all. Then you can use them with solar panels, wind generators, towable generators, and it's a charger controller. And our friend has one on the boat, but they don't last forever. So we're just going to take the old one out, plug the new one in, and it's a pretty simple thing, but if you don't have one and you're putting in a solar system, this is actually there's no real tricky part to it. The solar panel needs to be in a place where it gets good sun. You want it to be as horizontal as you can get it. A lot of times on a boat you can't get it horizontal, but you want it as horizontal as you can get it. And you want to have no shadows on it. It's the most amazing thing. Tiny little shadow from the wire, tiny little shadow from anything has a drastic amount of effect on the charge that comes out of the panel, and it will reduce it a great deal. So to whatever degree you can, put the panel out where it gets good clear sun with no shadows, and the other thing is cooling. It's a great thing on a catamaran because it's out here on the davits, and the breeze can blow by above and below it and cool it. The thing that destroys a panel faster than anything is leaving it in the sun all the time and cooking it. So if it can't cool off, if you have it flush against the deck and it cannot cool itself off, it destroys them faster. So if you were putting in a whole new solar system, you'd mount your panel somewhere where it got the best possible sun, the least possible number of shadows, have a nice canvas cover for it so when you're not using it, it's not getting burnt up in the sun, and make sure there's airflow over both the top and the bottom so it stays cool. It's supplied with wires most of the time, but if not, it'll have terminals. You run wires from it to the controller, and this one is going to be inside this little area here. And we'll show you the wires run in. On this one it's marked solar, so they'll run in on these two for the solar. This one's marked battery. It's a no-brainer, no rocket scientist. You run from here to the battery, and it will take care of business. Make sure that you don't blow up your batteries, and we really like that. And then you run another wire or pair of wires to the battery, and that's it. Almost all of them have a diode in them now. It's one thing that most people don't think of, but since you got me and you're stuck with me and you haven't turned off this video yet, a couple other little tidbits. The diode is basically a one-way gate, and it allows the electricity to flow from the panel through the charger to the battery. But at night, and it's kind of a wild thing that most people don't think of, at night when there's no sun shining on the charger, if there's no diode to stop the electricity from going the other way, there's electrical pressure, there's electrical energy reserve built up in the batteries, and it will push back out and it will dump the power out of the panel into the ether. So the diode prevents that from happening. So this being a newer one, I guarantee it has a diode in it. And that's that. So For us, the video is going to turn off, but for you, because of Magic Vidi, it's going to be this seamless thing, magic in the modern age. And you're going to be looking at this thing. We're going to pull off the old one and put on the new one. We're going to clean up the wires a little bit just because we can. And that's the project today. It's a quick one, and then the solar system on this boat will start charging the batteries again. So in video time, it'll be a fraction of a second, but for us it might be 20 minutes, but I'll see you in a second. So this is the old one. Wires are still connected. This is, we actually disconnected this wire quite a while ago so that it wouldn't cause problems when we saw it was bad. Now I'm back in town, so this one's already disconnected. But I'm just gonna disconnect, and I just have to remember white and this one goes to positive, black goes to negative. And then this is running to the house batteries. So we're gonna remember that red goes to positive, yellow goes to negative, and then I disconnect everything. And luckily I have all that on video, so I'm old and fat and cranky and I don't have to remember it. And so that's one of the benefits of doing all this on video, is anytime I forget what I'm doing, I just go back, look on Vidi's magic little screen, and I'm reminded of everything that I forgot. Everyone should have a video channel, eh? So we pull these apart. One thing that I highly, highly, highly recommend, and some folks forget, and you should not forget, if you're doing it new, it's not an issue. But if you are replacing something, notice this little green here. That little bit of corrosion is a nightmare in a situation like this. The first thing it does is create heat, and that heat comes from a resistance, and so the amount of power that is trying to get from the panel through the wires, through the controller, and over to your battery is being resisted by this corrosion. And electricity is an interesting subject. It is usually taught using water as the descriptive tool. So water flows down a hose, electricity flows down a wire. A one-way valve in a plumbing system allows the water to go one way, doesn't allow the water to go the other way. A diode does the same thing. So most people that are teaching electrical things at a basic level, which I'll do everything at a basic level. I'll assume that you're all submolecular physicists, but I'll still do it at a basic level for the few of you that are not. But the electricity, it actually doesn't flow like water, but the easiest way to envision it is having it flow like water. The primary difference is that water flows on the inside of the hose or the pipe or whatever. To the degree that electricity actually flows at all, it is flowing on the outside of the wires. So it's why you have multiple strands and all kinds of things that we can get into if you're in the mood. Send a question, I'll answer anything that you'd like to know. But so when you have corrosion on the outside of the wires, it resists the electricity, which creates heat, all kinds of issues. So anytime that I'm doing something like this, I will always cut the wire back to clean wire and re-strip it. And just one little tidbit, I always start too big, move down to the next one. Really cool, smart guys, they can just look at this stuff by eye. I'm not that cool or that smart, so I just start on the big one, work down until it works, and that way I never screw it up. And I look really smart and cool, even though I don't have to be. But don't tell my wife, she thinks I'm smart and cool. So anyway, this one we didn't have to cut it back very far, just that little bit. And now we have beautiful clean wire. We won't have any resistance. And life is good, so we'll do the same thing over here. And throwing the wire in the water is frowned on, so you saw that wonderful little maneuver that I did with my fingers. Makes it look like I've been doing this for 30 years. Wait a minute, I've been doing this for 30 years. And so now you have nice clean wires, and you'll notice that I have my cuts offset. It's just an old trick that I learned a million years ago when the dinosaurs roamed the earth. And if we were going to do butt connectors, it sets the butt connectors in different places, and I've just been doing this for so long that I just still automatically do it. In this situation, it doesn't help or hurt. Because the wire is going to be coming from the side, so it's all right. So now we're going to do the same thing over here, and you can see these are corroded as well, so I'm going to pull my tool back out. And every boat should have one of these on board. It's a stripper. I have this one over here, and I have a whole array of them. You can tell this one's been used a little too long. This one's a stripper and a cutter and also a crimper. And I've got more variations of these things than you can possibly imagine. These are actually the tool kit that I use when I'm working on a house. They're not actually my boat kit. So you can see they don't like being on a boat. But it's the ones that I have here in Florida, the only ones I have here in Florida, so the ones I'm using. But definitely, I highly recommend a tool like this one that has the cutter, the stripper, and the crimper all in one. There are very high-tech crimpers, and I love them. I have those too, absolutely love them. But then you have a separate crimping tool, a separate cutting tool, a separate stripping tool, and those are really easy. This is just the first one I picked up, so I'm staying with it. And so we're going to cut this back. And it's funny, this is the wire that came with the solar panel, and it is not as pretty as the wire that came with the boat. Isn't that interesting? And while you're here as a captive audience, you can see that this is just straight copper. There's nothing wrong with straight copper, that is wire, normal wire. But if you look at this, you'll see that it's silver. And it's the reason that it's silver is that it is zinc coated, and so each individual strand of this wire is an entirely separate wiring system that is zinc coated to protect it from corrosion, because as you remember from the earlier part of our video, the corrosion is a definite problem on the boats. So it's mildly entertaining that the solar panel was not originally a specifically marine solar panel, because it does not have that zinc coating. So that's a tidbit for those of you that were paying attention. We managed to get everything stripped. Now a lot of times, and I usually recommend that you put a connector onto here and then have that go into the terminal. My personal preference, everyone has their personal preferences, but this is my video, so you get my personal preferences. I like the shrink type, where you hit them with a heat gun or even a lighter, and it will shrink down onto the wire, and there's a little bit of gluey ooze, and it completely seals that thing, and it's really nice. But in this particular bus bar that they have here, bus bar is just these screws here. And when they're connected, you can make them connected. When they're not, but either way, it's a snazzy term, bus bar. On this particular one, it has a special clamping system, which actually doesn't like those connectors. So this is designed to have the wire shoved in, and then it clamps. So we are, and the other thing is, when you're screwing the screw down, you like to have the screw, if you're going to use wire like this, normally you like to wrap it around the screw so that as the screw comes in, it pulls the wire in, instead of, if you wrap it the wrong way, it'll try to push the wire out. So that's one of the things that you think about if you're not going to use a connector, that you also don't have to think about here. Because this is a Sun Saver 10. This particular one has a little flat plate, and so the spinning of the screw is entirely irrelevant, and you just shove the wire in. I still go in on that side because that's just what I've been doing for so long. But it'll actually clamp the wire between the two plates, so it's not going to wrap around the screw. And you screw this thing down good and tight. You don't have to go crazy. It's not one of those things where there's a huge amount of vibration and it's trying to jump out and all the, you know, you don't have to have these incredible torque fittings. And let me shove this one in. Same thing, tighten down. Pardon me for putting a shadow on it, but and so just nice and snug, but not crazy. Give everything a good shake, and that's that. And this wire is going to run vertically like that, so what looked like this horrible accidental too long thing is now going to be perfect. And then, so this is from the solar panel into the controller. And now we're going to do the same thing over here. So we'll give this a quick twist just to keep it together while it's going in. Clamp this down. Same thing over here. Clamp this down. And the actual highly skilled part that I make lots of money for doing when people pay me, is done. So now we have juice coming from the panel in through this wire into the controller, out from the controller to the batteries. And it's not worth videoing because I'm going to be upside down, but I'm going to take this excess wire, put it into a loop for being able to do this 50 more times over the next 2,000 or 3,000 years, and screw this back up to the bulkhead, and it'll be all done. But as we speak, if Pierre turns on the control switch on the inside, assuming that the panel is live and the batteries have water in them, there'll be juice and the batteries will start charging. So it has been a true pleasure. I'm not going to bore you to tears putting this thing back on the wall of the boat, but that's it. So what makes this video valuable, if you've made it this far, is if you're doing a replacement, it's easy. But getting to see this, you actually get to see how easy it is to put in a new system. So there's all kinds of fun things on how you want to mount your panels, but we went over that already. The wire runs through into the controller, from the controller to the batteries. It's all very simple. Now you know how to do it. This literally just runs straight to the batteries. I highly recommend, and ABYC, American Boat and Yacht Council, recommends that you put a fuse in the line. So between here and the batteries, I'm going to verify that the boat has a fuse. If not, we'll put one in. But that's it. If you're installing a new solar panel, it's solar panel into the charger, charger to the batteries. Have a fuse in there, the diode is already in here, and bada bing, bada boom, you have impressed your family and friends, and you have juice going into your batteries. So until our next project, pleasure as always.